The legend of Anansi the Spider, Africa's greatest trickster. In Africa, not every hero is a mighty king. Not every warrior carries a spear. Sometimes the greatest power comes from a tiny creature, no bigger than your hand. This is the story of Anansi the Spider, the trickster, the storyteller, the one who taught the world the power of wisdom. Stay with me, because at one point in this story, Anansi does something so clever you won't believe it. Long ago, all the stories in the world belonged to Niame, the great sky god. People had no tales to tell, no wisdom to share around the fire, but Anansi wanted those stories for himself. So he climbed up to Niame and said, "Great sky god, I want to buy your stories." Niame laughed. "Buy my stories? You, little Anansi? Then bring me 3 impossible things: the dangerous python, the mighty leopard, and the deadly hornets. If you can do that, my stories will be yours." Everyone thought it was impossible, but Anansi smiled, because tricks were his greatest weapon. First, Anansi went to the python. "Oh, great python," he said. "They say you are not as long as a palm tree. Surely that is not true." The python grew angry. "I am longer than any tree," so Anansi suggested they measure him against the trunk. The python stretched himself out, and before he knew it, Anansi tied him fast with ropes. Then came the leopard. Anansi dug a deep hole, and when the leopard fell inside, he offered to help him out. "Let me pull you up with this rope," Anansi said, but instead he trapped the leopard and carried him away. Last were the hornets. Anansi filled a gourd with water, poured it on himself, and ran around shouting, "The rains are coming. Quick, hide in this gourd and you will be safe." One by one, Anansi tricked them all. The hornets believed him and flew right inside. Remember when I told you at the beginning that Anansi would do something unbelievable? Well, here it is. This tiny spider, weaker than a lion, smaller than a man, had captured creatures that no one else dared face. And when he brought them to Niame, the sky god had no choice. He gave Anansi the gift of stories. From that day on, tales of wisdom, trickery, and laughter belonged to Anansi, and to all people. From that time, Anansi's stories spread across Africa. They traveled with the people across oceans to the Caribbean and the Americas. Everywhere, Anansi taught the same lesson, that the mind can defeat muscle, that cleverness can outshine strength. Anansi shows us that even the smallest among us can change the world, if we are wise enough to think differently. And so, when you hear a story tonight, when you laugh, when you learn, when you pass wisdom to the next generation, remember Anansi, the little spider who stole stories from the sky. This is the magic of Africa. This is the voice of Africa. Subscribe and join us as we share more tales of beauty, wisdom, and pride.